So cosmetics are pretty cool, right? And getting some really cool looking cosmetic sets for your classes by not spending a lot of money is even cooler. So I made a video a while ago where I showed you some really nice $1 loadouts for each class and you guys seemed to love it. So today we're going to be revisiting that idea but with even more value because this time we are talking all-class loadouts. And I'm kind of hoping that in this video you can use as many cosmetics as possible across all of your classes while spending the least amount of money possible as well. So if you go ahead and enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate it if you click the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 200k this year. Don't know if it's possible, but I'd like to see if we can. And final thing before we get into it, this video is sponsored by quicksell.store. They are an online trading website with a huge inventory of stuff that you can trade for, which is really nice. And sometimes you can even buy stuff in that site for around buy orders, which is quite rare and you don't normally get to do that. There is also a giveaways tab where every single week they give away an unusual, so definitely make sure you check that out. And the site is fully automatic, so you don't have to be trading with actual people, and you can trade at pretty much any time of the day that you would like to. The link will be in the description. Definitely go and check them out. They are a really awesome site. I've used them before in the past. Definitely recommended. I actually noticed that last time I made this video, some people were a little bit confused about how I came up with the prices from the last video, so I'll be giving you some more information about that in a sec. But for the first loadout, I actually have managed to put the grey bands and the Brotherhood of Arms into a loadout for less than $1. Now, that's because they're not worth nearly as much as I thought they were. Like, the grey bands were a key when they first came out. They're like 6.55 ref now, which is equal to like 23 cents. And the Brotherhood of Arms is around 21 cents or around 6 ref. So the way I actually came up with these prices and the reason I know them is because I used backpack.tf, which is a really cool site, to figure out how much stuff was worth in refined metal and then converted that into how much it was worth in cents and dollars. So you do have to do a little bit of trading to get these kind of prices. I should have made that clearer last time, but buying this stuff like by trading instead of on the community market means, one, you're going to be able to find most of these cosmetics because not all of them are on the community market, and two, you're actually going to get way better looking loadouts for way cheaper because the community market prices sometimes are a little bit all over the place. Okay, so going back to this loadout then, you will know now that, you can put the Brotherhood of Arms and the grey bands on a loadout and you've spent less than 50 cents. And you can use the grey bands and the Brotherhood of Arms on every single other class, so you don't need to spend too much more on one cosmetic for all of the classes you have left. So I'm going to take the Scout, for example, and we have around 54 cents to play with or something like that. And I noticed that you can get a cosmetic like the Flakjack for way cheaper than that, which I think is incredible. Like, what an insane looking loadout with the Brotherhood of Arms, the grey bands, and the Flakjack for the Scout, and you've spent less than $1 on it. The Flakjack right now is around 13 ref, which is also like 45 cents. So you'll actually have like 10 cents left, close to that. Something I would recommend you guys actually do is if you search for a specific class and then all of their cosmetics, or you search for like a list of them, the TF2 wiki has a page for each class showing you every single cosmetic they have. And then if you use that site with backpack.tf, you can start to build yourself some pretty cool loadouts and see just how much everything's worth, how much things are going to cost you, and basically you can work out your budgets way better from that. That's pretty much all I've been doing for this video. So I'm not going to show you every single example of every single set because it's going to take forever, but you've got the picture. And of course, you weren't going to get out of this video without hearing about the Hong Kong cone. Now, this one is a little bit more difficult because the Hong Kong cone straight away takes away 12 ref of your budget, or 42 cents if you're still working in the money. And $1 if you convert that to ref is around 28.55. So because the Hong Kong cone takes up a fair amount of your budget already, you might have a slightly harder time finding some nice sets to use with it. However, for certain classes, like the Scout, the Hong Kong cone covers most of the face, so you're not going to really need to bother about buying him some glasses. You could instead just get away with buying him like a jacket, a shirt, or something like that, and just rock a 2 cosmetic set instead of worrying about the third. I know there are 3 cosmetic slots and it looks really nice when it's all filled up, but you just don't always need it. For example, again, you can use the Flakjack here and you would have spent a total of 87 cents and you have an amazing looking loadout. I'm a little bit biased because this is most of mine, but still, you'll have 13 cents to spare and you would have bought 2 really nice looking Scout cosmetics. And the Hong Kong cone you can use on any class. I mean, you could get something like the spooky shoes, which are only like 7 cents. So you do fill the third slot. Doesn't look the best with those 2 other items, but if you like it, you know, there you go. It works for you. I think a lot of this type of thing is really just trying to find like cosmetics you enjoy using and you like the look of, seeing how much they are and what works well with them, and then just trying to make the loadout work and fit your budget. For example, if you find an item that you really want that's slightly over your budget, you could spend less on a class you don't play as much, so you can spend more on the classes you do play and go slightly over budget but get something that is a little bit nicer. Especially with the money you're going to be saving from buying all class hats instead, you won't have to buy a same copy of that hat for every single class. You just buy one and then you're done with it. So you're saving quite a bit and you will have quite a lot to play with when making loadouts you want to be using. Okay, I'm going to give you guys some hats that I think you should try and build a loadout around because I personally quite like them, or they're just hats that are popular and surprisingly very cheap. So I'm thinking I want to see people make loadouts around the killer exclusive, the prehistoric pullover, and something like the federal case maker, because they're all cheap hats. Prehistoric pullover is the most expensive one out of that list, but I think that'll give you guys a pretty cool challenge to try and make something that looks good for your classes with the $1. So if you go ahead and make anything from that loadout, it could even be on loadout.tf, tweet me a picture and I'll have a look through, and maybe I'll showcase some of the best ones on a video somewhere. Obviously in this video I haven't shown you what all of the loadouts will look like for all of these classes, because with every single hat I mentioned I'd be trying to show you like over 30 loadouts, which, let's be honest, nobody wants to see. And I also think it would be a bit of a cop-out if I literally just showed you one loadout that I liked and told you to just use that for all of your classes. So instead, I've tried to give you a bit of information as to how you could build your own loadouts and some pointers as to where to look first if you didn't really know what you were doing. And I want this to be more of a challenge with the information in this video, rather than me just telling you, here's some loadouts, use those ones and only those ones, and then don't do anything, like thinking yourself. But anyway, that is going to do it for the video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you leave it a like and also subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're new. I also want to say a massive thank you to quicksell.store. I would also, even if you're just trying to buy regular hats, these guys have like a lot of regular hats. So you could be trying to build some pretty good loadouts with what they've got as well. Way easier than trading with real people. But anyway, once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.